Let's look at awakening, the realization of one's true identity from the point of view of a metaphor that's used both in, certainly in the New Testament, and also in Taoism, the concept of the way, in other words, a journey. It implies, of course, a process of becoming, but it's a metaphor. In the end, waking up to one's reality, the discovery is that actually it's always been the pathless path. But just let's look at the opening sentence in Charles Dickens' novel David Copperfield. It gives us a kind of clue as to what is innate within the human perspective, the personal paradigm. The opening sentence is, and I'm paraphrasing, "If I am to become the hero of my life, or whether that station is going to be taken up by others, these pages will show." Inevitably, in the human condition, the individual is on a hero's or heroine's journey. This is right the way through all mythic archetypes in terms of being on a mission, of the individual achieving an aim, a goal, and so it could be referred to in a way as a journey of ascent. I'm remembering John Lennon used to always shout at the lads when they were tightening up their songs and their act in the nightclubs in Hamburg before they made the big breakthrough back in Liverpool and in England. He used to shout, "We're going to the top, boys, we're going to the top." So this is a journey of ascent, and it's quite natural. The brain is wired towards curiosity, towards development, to exploring the environment. There was a famous BBC programme donkeys years ago called The Ascent of Man, which just explored the whole development of civilization from prehistory times to modern times. So this is the journey of acquisition, and it's natural for every person dealing with life, a journey of acquisition, of acquiring. And in fact, we could say it's a journey of wealth acquisition. But in fact, realization, non-duality, waking up to one's true nature isn't a goal. It's not an objective. One of the stories that are in the New Testament again was about a young man who'd obviously heard Jesus or seen what was happening and was very, very curious about what Jesus was doing, approached him and said to him, "Good master, what do I need to do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus looked at him and said, "Well, basically keep the commandments and you're on track." And the young man said, "Well, actually, I've been doing that all my life, keeping the commandments. What else do I need to do?" And it says Jesus looked at him and said, "Well, sell all that you possess and come follow me." And the end of the little encounter, the line says, "And the young man turned away with great sadness, because he was a man of great wealth." So this journey, this invitation to move from the conditioned state of limited personalization into new life, into the realization of who one truly is counterintuitive to the normal body-mind egoic journey of acquiring, acquisition, and development. So we could say that this journey, inverted commas, that the journey of realization is a journey from richness, from wealth to poverty. Now, the story with the young man is not to take that literally. Being materially poor, materially rich, whatever, is irrelevant for the whole experience of awakening to one's true nature. So what does it mean then to be wealthy? Well, naturally, in this journey, from infanthood, is about an acquiring of so much. This is our wealth, an acquiring of ideas, of beliefs, prejudices, skills, competencies, an acquiring of experiences, whether good or ill, which make up the life story of the ego personality. So this is the wealth, and all of these aspects of how we acquire, particularly knowledge and so-called understandings of ourselves, understandings of the world, understandings of our place in the world, how it all kind of adds up, and how then we make sense of ourselves and that, and the positions that we take up to ensure our identity, for good or for ill, in that position in a world that's ever-changing, fluctuating, and is quite threatening to the ego because of the basic fundamental insecurity in life and its fecklessness. So this is the wealth, all of the aspects, the attributes that solidify and objectify our persona as an individual, our belief that we are an entity, a personality, a creature that is separate to the world. All of that creates the illusion of separation and the illusion of egoic autonomy. This is the wealth that we have acquired, and this is what we are invited to let go and be dispossessed of. And so for many people, the threat to one's identity is the kind of final straw to even consider that one could, as it says elsewhere in the Bible as well, unless you die to the self, you cannot inherit eternal life. So unless one can really be open to the poverty of everything that we know and hold and are convinced about, unless we are open to the loss of all of that, to being dispossessed of all of that, then there's little spaciousness to be able to see what is already evident and already present, which is the pure, infinite, boundless, timeless spaciousness of awareness, of beingness, of presence, with a capital P. So the wealth that we've acquired in terms of all of these ideas and images of self, all of these images of self, again, for good or for ill, these are all the fixations and the aspects that, depending on the grip that we have of them, actually keeps us within the limitation of our life and keeps us within within the trials and troubles and tribulations, and keep us enchained to suffering. So an openness to being dispossessed, an openness to poverty, an openness to not knowing, an openness to insecurity, an openness to being humble enough to just be with what is without having any handle conceptually, intellectually on what this is, this life as it appears in its utter, immutable mystery, just as in now, in this moment, just pausing, whether thoughts come up, an image of what one has to do with the day, or just allowing the stillness that's already here. Gentle, effortless, noticing. Of the light. Just noticing the light. Not even needing the label light. Gentle noticing of breath, any sensations. The quietness that is in and allows any sounds. The still presence of just being. Which requires nothing of any of the currency of acquired ideas, imaginings, thoughts, considerations. The incessant commentary is the currency of that wealth. Which is an illusory wealth. Be still and know that I am God.